Houston home prices look amazing compared to California or New York. But what if I told you there's a hidden tax nightmare lurking in these beautiful homes that really nobody's talking about? These homes look amazing until the tax bill shows up. I've watched buyers, often the ones navigating the process alone or without the right guidance, get blindsided by thousands of dollars in unexpected costs after closing. Costs most real estate websites never mention. And today I'm pulling back the curtain on the four biggest financial traps in Houston real estate, including the one hitting new construction buyers the hardest. And stick with me because I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid every single one of them. By the way, if we haven't met, I'm Travis, a Houston real estate expert. I've been helping families buy and sell homes across the Houston area for years. On this channel, I break down what life is really like here, the pros, the cons, and the things that most people don't find out until after they buy. So whether you're thinking about moving to Houston or you already live here, you'll definitely want to pay attention to what I'm about to share. All right, let's start with taxes, because in Texas, that's always the big one. Now, here's the good news. Texas just passed some of the largest property tax relief in the country. The Homestead exemption jumped to $140,000 after voter approval, which lowers your taxable value on your home. Now that's a win for homeowners. But here's what most buyers miss. That relief doesn't mean property taxes are low. Texas still relies very heavily on property taxes because there's no state income tax. And rates are going to vary depending on the city, county, and school district. So while the exemption helps, buyers are still getting surprised by tax bills that are way higher than they expected. So after all that tax relief, you think the problem is solved, right? Not exactly. Well, the city of Houston has lowered its property tax rate in recent years, and Texas has expanded exemptions, especially for seniors, disabled homeowners, and veterans. And yes, 100% disabled veterans in Texas can qualify for a full property tax exemption on their primary residence. But here's where people get blindsided. Most buyers aren't shocked in year one. It's year 2 and 3 where the surprise hits. When you buy a home, your taxes may look reasonable at closing, but then the county appraisal district reassesses property values every year, and your home values can increase significantly, even with a homestead exemption. Now, with a homestead exemption, the taxable value increase is capped at 10% per year. Without it, there's no cap at all. That means homeowners budget for one payment and then suddenly their escrow and monthly costs jump by thousands. I've seen homeowners shocked by tax increases they never ever planned for. Not because taxes were raised, but because their property value was reassessed higher. But here's the good news. You can fight that. Thousands of Houston homeowners protest their property values every year and successfully get them lowered. That can reduce your tax bill and protect you from overpaying. So here's what you're going to do. Step 1, file your homestead and any other exemptions immediately. Step 2, budget for potential increases in years 2 and 3 and don't assume year 1 taxes stay the same. Step 3, be ready to protest your value. The deadline is typically May 15th each year in Texas. Those 3 steps alone can save homeowners thousands. And in a few minutes, I'm going to explain the special tax districts that are costing some new construction buyers an extra $3,000 to $5,000 per year that nobody warned them about. And if you're thinking about moving to Houston, go ahead and subscribe. That's the smartest first step that you can take. Subscribers are going to get my neighborhood breakdown, honest market warnings most agents don't talk about, and exclusive home tours across the Houston area. Now, rising property values aren't the only tax surprise. There's another one that's hitting new construction buyers especially hard. You do not want to buy any new construction area without understanding MUDs and PIDs. MUD stands for Municipal Utility District. These districts finance water, sewer, and drainage infrastructure through bonds. Okay, and homeowners repay that through higher property tax rates. PID stands for Public Improvement District. These fund things like parks, landscaping, roads, and amenities, usually through additional assessments or fees. And here's the key. These aren't optional. They're built into the tax structure of the community. In popular suburbs like Pearland, the Woodlands, Conroe, Atascocita, and Sugarland, especially in newer or still developing neighborhoods, these extra tax layers can add thousands of dollars per year to your housing cost. I've seen buyers ready to submit an offer, and then the MUD disclosure shows up and completely changes the monthly payment. Your mortgage might look fine until the MUD rate shows up. This isn't about avoiding these communities. Many are fantastic places to live. It's just about knowing the true tax rate before you commit. Now, let me give you a sense of scale here. In some communities, MUD taxes can make up a significant portion of your total property tax bill. If your regular property taxes would be around $9,000, you could easily be paying several $1,000s more per year in MUD or similar district taxes. And remember, those are going to be on top of your city, county, and school district taxes. When homeowners get their first full tax bill, that's when the shock happens, because they didn't realize these layers existed. Now, these districts aren't automatically bad. They often fund the amenities that people love, things like lagoons, massive parks, walking trails, landscaping, and community features that can increase home values. The issue isn't the district, it's not knowing about it before you buy. So here's what you should do. Ask about MUDs or PIDs in your very first conversation with your agent. Get the official district notice in writing. Understand the tax rate and what it means for your monthly payment. Ask how long the bonds are scheduled to be repaid. Those simple questions can save you from a major money surprise later. But taxes aren't the only financial surprises waiting for Houston buyers, because next, we're going to be talking about hidden physical problems, things like mold or gas leaks that standard inspections can miss. And those can cost buyers thousands after closing. Now let's talk about another hidden issue that causes Houston buyers off guard, and that's going to be mold. Most buyers assume that the standard home inspection covers everything, but here's the reality. Mold testing usually is not included unless you specifically request it, and Houston's climate creates perfect conditions for it. Now we're talking about summer humidity levels that often hit 75 to 95%, and that moisture can get trapped inside homes, especially older homes or properties that have had past water issues. I've seen beautiful homes pass a standard inspection with flying colors, only for mold problems to show up later and cost homeowners thousands to remediate. Mold can hide behind walls, under flooring, or in attics, particularly in homes with prior leaks, flooring, or roof problems. Once it takes hold, it spreads. That's why it's so important to review the seller's disclosure carefully and ask direct questions about past water damage or repairs. And this isn't just about property damage. Mold exposure can create serious health concerns, especially for people with allergies or respiratory issues. Unexplained allergies, breathing problems, headaches. These can sometimes be linked to the hidden mold issues in a home. That's why I always recommend a specific mold inspection, especially if the home has been vacant, has had prior leaks, or shows any signs of moisture problems. Look for early warning signs like musty odors, water stains, or discoloration on walls and ceilings. But don't rely only on what you can see. Professional air sampling can detect mold you'd never spot with the naked eye. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my full protection strategy, including the type of inspectors to use so nothing slips through the cracks. But mold isn't the only hidden danger. Let's talk about gas leaks for a minute. Even small gas leaks can be dangerous. They may not always be strong enough to smell clearly, but they can still cause issues over time. Things like headaches, eye irritation, or nausea when you're inside the home. Small leaks can occur at stove connections, appliance fittings, or gas lines, and they can go undetected for years. They can also drive up your gas bill without you realizing why. We recently helped a homeowner, actually a neighbor of mine, who had an undetected gas leak. It wasn't catastrophic, but it was enough to create health concerns until it was found out and repaired. The good news, both mold and gas issues are preventable with the right inspections. For mold, request a dedicated mold testing with air sampling. For gas, make sure your inspector checks gas connections and appliances thoroughly. A little extra caution up front can save you thousands and potentially protect your health. I know this sounds like a lot to think about, but this is the reality of buying in Houston. There are things that can just catch buyers off guard, but when you know what to look for, have the right game plan, and work with the right team, Houston is an incredible place to live and invest. Every market is going to have its challenges, but Houston also offers huge advantages. Job growth is strong, opportunities are everywhere, and real estate here can be a powerful wealth building tool when approached the right way. I've watched many buyers navigate these challenges successfully, and with the right preparation, you can avoid these surprises entirely. So what's the plan to protect yourself? Well, first, work with an experienced Houston agent who understands these local issues. Not somebody who's just trying to close a deal, but someone who educates you on what you're going to be getting yourself into. Second, budget for the real cost of home ownership, not just the mortgage. That's going to include property taxes, potential increases, mud and PID fees, and realistic insurance costs. Third, research the specific neighborhood. Tax rates and costs can vary drastically, even from one subdivision to the next. Fourth, use a Houston-specific inspector. Our soil, humidity, and aging infrastructure create unique challenges like foundation movement, mold risk, and gas system concerns. If the home is over 15 years old or has a history of water issues, a specialized mold inspection is going to be worth the extra investment. And always make sure gas systems are checked thoroughly. Fifth, protection doesn't stop after closing. File your homestead exemption right away. Many homeowners forget and they just leave money on the table. Review your property tax assessment every year and stay informed on the changes to tax laws. And now that you know what blind spots to avoid, your next question is probably, where should you actually buy? Well, click here and watch me rank the top Houston suburbs that are poised to break out in 2026. And until next time, we hope to show you around town.